We've been doing movie nights for
years.
So Gen Xer and
A Gen Z. Random weird moments that the two of us have experienced, and there are a lot of those.
And he crashes them.
As you do.
It's like, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, where did this come from? Why are we singing?
I mean, you're not going to learn anything about the movies listening to us talk.
This is the Argo City Podcast. Film, conventions, and fan life with Maddie and Matthew.
And we have returned!
And it kind of seems like August is just convention month for us. I don't know what it is, because it used to be that we had them spread throughout the whole year, and now it's like, okay.
They're like all in one bunch. We have
February,
like
March, and then August.
Like boom, 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 boom. They're all like within that 1 week, 1 month period.
So it'll be a week now, but we headed out to NEO Comicon.
NEO Comicon.
Now I love NEO Comicon, and I've been going to NEO Comicon since its very first year.
Really? You went there first year?
I went there first year. In fact, their first year was at the Wasteland Hotel.
That's hilarious.
He had reconfigured it in a different way than Wasteland does. Like, some of the walls are temporary. You can actually set it up however you want. And now the promoter, at least back then, the promoter did something really smart. So he's creating this Comic Con. So what he did, and he still does this actually, he joined the local comic book club. He was heading out to and patronizing all the comic shops in the area, which is no small feat. And he was a part of the culture.
Yeah, that's always a good thing to be.
And so we were all right there. We were all ready to go to see this. And it's grown every year since then. I mean, I think it might be on its 11th year.
Wow.
It's been a while. Like, you didn't start going to it with me for a while yet. NEO Comicon, though, is always a little bit of a mixed bag as well. So
it is one of the earliest conventions I remember going to. When I think of conventions that, well, I have a bad memory towards my younger years, but I always remember this one has always been one we've always gone to.
Right, because it's local. It's really close.
It literally was 15 minutes away from our church. Like,
right.
I would bring my costume with me to service, and then we would go right after.
Yeah, exactly. It's near where I work. It's really local, and I like Sean. Now, Sean eventually sold it off to Eric, and Eric's also the guy who bought Comics Are Go. That's my preferred comic book shop up in Sheffield, Ohio. It's like between Comics Are Go and Carol and John's. Those are the two that I go to.
Yeah.
And Eric also is very much in comic book culture in this way. Like, before he bought the shop, I was playing HeroClix with him.
Back in HeroClix Club?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, when I was doing competitive play and when I was heading out to Warzone one week and up at a comic shop the next week. And, yeah, so I love Eric. I love Sean. And that's why we really like NEO.
Yeah.
Now, NEO's, sometimes it's one thing, sometimes it's another thing.
It's gone through a lot of changes.
It has. There used to be a lot more programming. They used to do a talk with, like, any of the comic professionals that they went in.
Yeah,
they used to have, like...
they used to have, like, a whole area that was, like, blocked off with, like, black curtains. Because
right.
I remember there used to be a spot, like, right in the corner.
They used to have stuntmen come in and do movie talks and demonstrations. And then they'd always have a costume contest. Well, not always, actually. I think of all the conventions out there, NEO is the most hit or miss with the costume contest. It'll be there one year, and then it won't be there the next, and then it'll be there one year, and then it won't be there the next.
They didn't do it last year.
Right, but they did it the year before.
Yeah.
And the lockdowns really hit them hard as far as that went. Like, all the programming basically disappeared with the lockdowns.
I don't think we really got anything after that.
We're glad to have them back. It's just, we don't like it when it's just a dealer's room.
Now,
on the other hand, it's the biggest dealer's room that I take you to. It's huge. It's 2 soccer fields full. Like, literally, 2 soccer fields, side by side, with, in the middle, there's bleachers and a snack bar. So
Yeah.
they fill that thing up.
And the dealer's room has always been fairly interesting for me. This time around, however, I was on the hunt. So I was actually pretty excited about the giant dealer's room, more so than the costume contest. I am fairly disappointed that I did not find what I was looking for, because I am on the lookout for like anime hair bows, because right now at Burger King we're doing the Naruto toys and more nerds are coming in and I want to talk with the nerds. So in order to do that, I have to customize to make people be willing to talk to me about nerd culture.
I'm a little surprised. In fact, there were a couple booths that were missing, like the one that I always buy like Croc Charms from and that have the plushy anime characters. They weren't there. We get buttons from them, and they're always up there in the back corner of Soccer Field 2.
What are you talking about? Their stand was
No,
still
you're
there.
thinking of the one that has all of the perler bead stuff and the buttons. No, there's a couple that weren't around,
Oh, yeah.
and that was a little weird.
I did end up like I found a stand I really loved. I feel so bad that I can't remember her name now, but she does some beautiful artwork, and I got some adorable stuff from her. I found myself like these little cat stickers, which are like there's like a cloud and then there's the fire, which is amazing. I bought like stickers from her. I bought a little bird with a top hat. I'll get into that later.
Little resin bird with a tag. Yeah.
No, it wasn't resin.
No,
it was carved. Yeah.
Okay.
And I still need to fix his beak. I still gotta hot glue his letter back on. But yes, so that was she was awesome. Apparently she was actually a lawyer, and she was in lawyer school, which is why she hadn't been there the last year. And she had come back recently because this is like her passion, which was so much fun because she was so sweet.
Well, and you know what? Neo's good for that. Neo's really good about. Neo focuses on comics and art. Neo always brings in actual like real comic book artists, and they don't necessarily succumb to the celebrity hype. And there's just, even when it has been just a dealer's room, there's still just such a feeling of community in
Everybody
there.
is just so nice to each other. Literally, I was standing in line for the costume contest, and I ended up chatting to the Jinx that was standing next to me.
Okay.
I don't remember really anything about our conversation, but I just know we were talking like the whole time. And I mostly remember this because her gun was very fragile, and I had to keep ducking so that her gun wouldn't hit me because I didn't want it to break on my account. But just getting to, like, literally, the lady that was, like, organizing the whole thing, she was like, talk to the people around you, make friends, everybody wants to be friends, and then she walked away. And we're all making friends, and we're all talking, which is just so much fun.
And you know what? That's what I've always said. The best part of the costume contest isn't the walk.
It's talking with the people in line. It's chatting with the people during the pre-show. It's, like, chatting with the judges. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So that's Ginger Snaps cosplay. I think they're a breakaway from Rubber City. But I mean, I've seen them around for a while. I've seen them up at Geek Fest a couple times too.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm happy to see more of that show up. I'm happy to see. All right, so let's talk about the community and the helpfulness and this year you drove.
I did drive this year. I drove us all the way there and all the way home.
And see, driving
It was stressful.
It is, but the stressful part is parking because there is
so
not
stressful.
enough parking. There's definitely not enough parking in the parking lot. They open up like the lawn next to it, even, and then there's another area like
over by LC.
half a mile away by the college that they shuttle people back and forth.
Yeah.
And like let's take a pass through. But if we don't find anything, okay. So we took a pass through, and we didn't find anything.
I'm stressing because I actually ended up getting trapped at one point because I
that's
wasn't
the
able
thing.
to
You're
get through.
like, okay, let's try this one other row. It's like, well, I'm not sure. Okay. And we get to the end of that row, and there's not enough room for your car.
And guess what? There's 2 cars behind me.
Yeah, that's what made it even worse. So we are trapped out in the park. We haven't even gotten inside yet.
I was panicking.
And yes, you're freaking out, and there's a car in the corner, and the car in the corner that you couldn't get past shouldn't have been there. If you looked at the markings on the ground, that was not a parking spot. That was an arrow, like where it's, okay, we need to do a path through here. Now, you had good luck. That guy was just about just actually coming out to move his car. I'm wondering if there was an announcement that you are parked in a bad place and you're going to get towed if you don't.
Yeah.
But either way, he was coming out, but still, there's not enough room for him. I still
couldn't fit.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't get out. You couldn't back up. There's no room for him to pull out. Yeah. At which point, Falcon from Captain America shows up. And he jumps in.
He takes full-on charge in this situation.
Yeah, I got out of the car and I'll see if I can wave him back. No, he jumped in and he directed traffic and he got us out of it. This is, I think that was Bond from Superheroes to Kids in Ohio, but it might not have been. It kind of looked like him, but it might not have been him. So whoever it was, he wasn't like an official part of the convention.
No, he wasn't a staff member. He wasn't wearing the staff shirt or the staff name
We're
tag.
just jumping in to help.
Exactly, and that was so nice.
That's the sort of positivity. That's the sort of community that NEO brings out. It's the sort of community that NEO really caters to.
Yeah.
I saw some dealers there that I know some of these guys, and they were just fans. They were just guys who collected comics and collected pops, and now they've got tables there. Yeah. I saw Dan Ketchum up there doing that kind of stuff, and you know what? NEO's just a perfect environment for that.
It's especially a great environment for beginners who are coming to conventions and stuff.
It's a good way to ease your way in.
It's a good starter convention because it's like you said, it's a great group of people. Everybody's usually really, really friendly there. I know I'm always safe there because you know literally everybody.
Right, and I've never worried about taking my kids to this stuff because nobody's there to prey on you, and at least not the ones that I'm going to, and not the people that I'm hanging out with.
And it's literally like the dealers. The same dealer that I've been talking about. I was talking with her while I was looking at the stickers and such, and there was these group of kids that were running by, and she was just keeping an eye on them, and she was laughing at them, and we were all just these kids are adorable. They're running around and all this stuff. And we're just yeah, they're being raised in the right environment because you need to be raised in a geeky environment. That's what makes good people. But still, it's such a good group of people.
Mm-hmm. I actually saw a lot of people that I knew this time around. Mm-hmm. It's like I said, it's close by. And some of these people I haven't seen in a while. Some of them I have. My buddy Mark Submerk, who it's his first convention in 6 years.
Oh, really?
And it was nice to get over to his table and hang out for a little while. Mark is the guy who wrote the Franklin Richards Son of a Genius stuff.
I passed by his table when I was over there.
That stuff with the Herbie. And he's a former editor at Marvel Comics. He's doing a lot with Marvel Rivals and a lot of the video game stuff. He had a big Jeff the Land Shark shirt on, and it was just so much fun to catch up. I saw my buddy Penguin up there. I ran into even the dealers John from Carol and John's is hey Matt.
Because we don't think we've noticed this, but he was in a giant elf costume.
Yes, we haven't spoken about that yet. So
we should probably make that clear that people still recognized him despite his fact that his face was fully covered, and I wasn't with him to give him away this time around.
Not for a lot of it. You vanished for a while, and that's perfectly cool. You brought out your Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I brought out my Hanji, and people
recognize.
Knew who it was. Oh my gosh, I am so used to people actually knowing what it's from. I had two people know the exact character that I was doing, and it literally made my day. I was so happy. I literally, oh my gosh.
None of the equipment, just
none of the equipment, just the jacket, the top, and my child.
And
my
your mini Titan
child that people were terrified and adorable by. Literally, that I'm gonna keep going back to this vendor because I spent so much time with her. I was holding it while I was grabbing the stuff from her table. She was can I hold it? And I'm absolutely. I came across a guy and two kids, and they asked if I could get a picture with them, and I'm yeah, totally. And he explains to me, so these kids, they recognize the symbol on the back of your jacket. They don't know what it's from, but they recognized it because they got me a lanyard with it. And I look over and I'm oh, okay. And I'm yes, we can absolutely take a picture. And I need to find that photo because that was adorable.
That resonates with me so much too because even if you weren't into Supergirl, if you saw that S, it would affect you fundamentally.
Yeah.
Because it's just been around you. So I get that, and that's Neo more than a lot of conventions, especially a lot of like dealer room conventions, really caters to that family atmosphere.
Yeah.
So, and we mentioned, so my costume this time around was, so she doesn't quite do it justice. Mine is the Green Lantern of Melmac.
Yeah.
So this is Alf dressed in Green Lantern garb, mask, costume, boots, ring, everything, including, weirdest thing, I bought these gloves like off of Wish or Temu or something like that, and they were cheap, like $2. They show up and they're perfect, they're fuzzy, they're brown, they match, and wait, I did not realize these things came with a squeaker in the palm.
But it makes it better, though. It makes it so much better.
Every time I like use my ring, every time I like aim my ring at somebody, we do a quick squeeze, and it's phew, and no, that's the sound of the ring. So yes,
course.
Maddie's mentioning that people were. This is wild to me because I am known for like the big armor builds. I'm known for the foam smith stuff. I've had people tell me you have a specific style that we can recognize in the foam.
Yeah.
There's no foam on it other than the feet. The feet are expanding foam, great stuff, and that's what I use for monster feet. But otherwise, yet people are still. You refer to this as one of my plush costumes. Like one of my plushy.
Well, yeah, one of your weird costumes, I'd say.
Well, that's the next part.
Actually, you know what? That's not even a determinable factor at this point. But anyways,
when I do one of these soft costumes, when I do one of these fuzzy kind
adorable.
They're so weird. It's such a weird mashup, and it always is. So, whether it's Spider-Ham or Tracy the gorilla from Ghostbusters, or the Grinch that stole Valentine's Day
and
Halloween,
everything,
and an entire convention one time. So it's when you see, it's not just that it's furry, and it's not like a furry, it's not an original character. It's not just that it's furry in that it's a plush character. No, it's a plush character that is so ridiculously absurd. Apparently, I have developed a reputation for that as well. We had no sooner walked in, gotten our tickets and our wristbands.
We're like walking by the bathrooms to head over
and
inside.
Suddenly I hear Skelly, and I look over at Venom, and it's my buddy. It's my buddy Josh, who does the best Deadpool in Northeast Ohio. And I'm like, how on earth do you know that's me? I haven't spoken. I haven't said anything. Nope. He just like, no, that had to be you. That one of my friend Jason was looking at pictures online. It's like, I saw this and like, that has to be Matt. We went over to my friend Nightmage's table,
Yeah.
Michael Wilson. Nightmage is a big deal. He's an international cosplayer, very internet famous. He's a hometown hero. I'm pleased to be acquainted with him. And he was on his phone, so I'm chatting with my buddy Jason Hahn, who had been over at his table too. And then he looks up and just cracks. He just completely loses it.
No!
And it was great stuff. And again, knew exactly who's behind that Alf mask.
Yeah.
So that Alf was fun. Alf made a lot of people happy. The Gen Xers and earlier are all recognizing it. It was surprising how many of the kids though would too. The babies are fascinated.
Of course they'd be fascinated. You're adorable.
So like they'll be walking past me and they'll be well past me. Their backs to me. The babies are still watching, and I've just got my glove, and I'm just and nobody knows where it's coming from. That's the most fun part. My friend Steph caught up with me, and she's like, "Wait, where does that? Do those make noise?" I would, instead of clapping, because I can't clap in these gloves, you would just hear it, and I would suddenly see people around me looking around. Where is that coming from?
No, I kind of got that as well. The children were fascinated by my baby doll. At one point, I was walking over to look at some of the anime blind boxes, and I had my child in my arm, like usual. And these group of 3 young girls, I want to say they were 8 to 10. I heard them like saying something, like saw one of them point to me, and I'm like looking down, but subtly watching in the corner of my eye because I'm curious as to what they're doing. They're like looking at me, they're staring at me, and they're like, what is that? And I look up, and suddenly they like realize that I've been watching them, and I like have the baby wave, and I walk away. And like literally several children were fascinated by my child. I mean, they absolutely should be, but several of them were fascinated by them. I freaked out the main lady that was like doing the costume contest. She was like, "Oh, that's creepy."
That's not the first time you freaked somebody out, one of the judges out with the costume contest.
That's true, but
I am stepping back from competition right now, and I'm happy to go out like on top with. I had a really nice win at Fantasticon with God Skeletor, so it's a good time to kind of step back, especially as I'm getting older, and that's why I want to do just weird, wacky stuff this year, and so you did the costume contest without me.
Yeah,
this year.
I did it alone this year. Which...
That was weird for me, by the way. There's some FOMO that I'm still working out, because I know if I'd brought out my Bones Iron Man armor, I could have placed there, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just you on your own.
Yeah, the only other time we did that was when your Iron Man had broken down, but that wasn't a plan for me going on my own.
Right.
So it was honestly kind of weird. Just I ended up talking a little bit with like the people around me, with like the group costumes behind me, because I was the last person to sign up for the costume contest. I got lucky.
Just in time, yeah.
Literally, I had no idea we were running so low on time. I can understand why your friend was like shoving me towards to sign up, because I was like running out on time.
We took so long parking, and then you didn't get out there until...
Yeah. Another thing, like, and I'm going to take my chance to go on my rant here. So I came across a lot of really interesting stuff while I was at the convention. The main stuff being from K-pop Demon Hunters.
Okay.
Now,
yes.
there is an episode that will come out on this later. So please watch that. My rant gets so much more in depth. But I walked in. I was hanging out. I was walking around. I see blue hair in the corner of my eye. What is that? So I get up and I'm walking over towards the blue hair that I see, because I also see a sleeping bag and I'm not entirely sure what that is, so I'm like kind of curious. I suddenly see 2 characters from K-pop Demon Hunters. It's Baby Saja and then Mira in her sleeping bag from the Met Gala. And I walk over and I'm like, "Oh my god, you guys, that is amazing. Can I please get a picture?" And they're like, "Yes, absolutely." And they step back. I take the picture of them. And then she proceeds to hand me this little like gift bag thing. It's a small like drawstring bag, like the colorful ones you can find like on Temu. Inside was it was a fizzy flav grape like candy, which I've tried them now, and it's almost not quite like a pop rock, but it does like kind of fizz in your mouth. There was like a little sticker with like My Little Soda Pop along with a pin and all their socials. They are Carrie does random things on Tumblr, Instagram, TikTok, and Discord. Please go follow them. I've actually met them at a previous convention with because they were friends with Mike and they were in that whole group. So it was kind of cool to see them again here. And they gave me a little gift bag. I love it when people hand out stuff, because that's always so much fun at cons. I can't wait to start doing that when I eventually do a Mau Mau.
So real quick before we wrap this up, by the way, K-pop Demon Hunters will probably be dropping. I'm hoping to get it out there before October. If we don't, it'll be like one of the first ones in November. But before we wrap up, let's do our like swag takeaway.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of really interesting stuff at this particular con, because I had brought $40 and then I lost 20 of those dollars, which was really sad. But
we didn't tuck into our pocket quite well enough, I guess.
Well, I got the stuff they said before. I got I got like the 2 stickers, like the cat cloud and the fire cloud or cat. I picked up some really cute stickers of like from that same vendor. They were really cool, like almost stained glass looking ones, which was really fun. I got a couple of random anime stickers inside my bag. They threw like a Naruto, a guy from Jujutsu Kaisen, and a random like shirtless one with like Deku and Todoroki, which is okay, sure. I also picked up a really cool Promised Neverland pin, which was a picture of like of a clip from the manga. I believe it's from the 3rd book, if I'm not mistaken. But because I've read the manga, and I can say that because I've read the manga and read the manga. Don't watch season 2. Read the manga; it's better. But yeah, I think that's about it for my haul.
I found I came home with a stack of comics, but I found a couple of really small, like 2.5-inch, 3-inch Ghostbuster figures.
Yeah.
Now, when I say that, I say Ghostbuster. There's a space in between there because we're not talking about the Columbia Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters. We're not talking Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd. We are talking about the Filmation Ghostbusters. These are based on the cartoon, which is a sequel to the live-action series from the 70s. And I love the live-action series from the 70s with Kong and Tracy and Spencer, with the 2 guys and the gorilla. And the cartoon that Filmation put out in the late 80s is a sequel to that. Their sons, still the same gorilla. And they kind of put it out because they were mad that Columbia didn't sell them the license to do the cartoons based on the movie. I have room enough for all of them in my heart. So lately I've been looking more for the Filmation stuff. The Filmation stuff, there wasn't a lot of it, and it didn't sell well, but that also means it's rarer and harder to find.
Oh, so you must have gotten lucky to find a couple of them.
I've seen these once before, and I think it was the same vendor, but they'd been moved or taken off the table or whatever when I went back for them. And so this time around, when I saw them again, I want those. I need those right now. That right there.
Yeah.
He gave me a good deal on them. So I've got a couple of little mini ones to go with my full-size figures. That was probably my most exciting buy of the day. Yeah. Although, that, and maybe also the teeny little Star Trek sticker that you gave me. It's like, it's just an Enterprise with a little heart by it, but it's the right one. It's the Enterprise A. It's the movie one. It's like the one that I like too, and that's what's so fun about that.
I find that hilarious because I got it from the same vendor, and I saw it, and I was like, I'll grab this because it's in like the dollar bin. And I'm surprised. I'm actually really surprised you like it that much. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up our whole experience at NEO Comicon.
We always love NEO. We've always had a good time there.
It's always a lot of fun.
In fact, it's one of those that is good for the community. They give at least a portion, if not the whole door, to charity.
Really?
Part of it really is a charity. Yeah, because the owners then, they set up their tables, and that's where they're going to make their profit.
Oh.
So NEO's a great one for Northeast Ohio, and it's one of our favorites. It's one that we've been to every single year, and I don't see that stopping. All right, so we will be back here next week, and we got one more. It's still August.
It's still August.
So we got one more. We're heading out to the Akron Library next week for
Geek Fest, for one of my favorite conventions.
So we'll be back with one more convention, and then we'll be back to movies and other fandoms, I promise.
Yes.
But until then,
we will see you guys next time. Bye!